Hello folks, today I'm going to talk to you about Bonsai Books. I've been looking up the YouTube channel and I find that there is not very much information, if at all any, on the YouTube channel on books. But I do get a lot of messages from people asking about what Bonsai Books beginners should have. Now, when I started bonsais, there wasn't much of a choice of books available. The first book that I got hold of somewhere in the 80s, or the mid-80s, was Peter Chan's Bonsai Masterclass. Now, even though it's called a masterclass, I recommend this highly for beginners because he talks about a lot of the aspects of bonsai, including things like wabi-sabi and how to choose books and the simplicity and tranquility and naturalness of bonsais when you start making them. Today I think we've run away a bit too much and we tend to get bogged down in collecting bigger bonsais and carving them and hacking them and making them look more like sculptures rather than natural looking trees. So I think the earlier book of Peter Chan is very helpful in guiding you through all of that aspects of it. He does cover many of the basic techniques, including taking cuttings and air layering and how to pot things on. So it is a comprehensive book to be used. He talks about collecting trees or trees that are collected. And remember, this is at the very, very early stages of bonsais in the UK and in fact in Europe. And collecting trees was perhaps the primary way for them to actually get basic stock to grow on. Nowadays it is being done, I think, a bit to destruction. So, but again, if you collect trees, make sure that you collect them from areas that are not of natural beauty, because these little trees help with showing off the beauty of these areas, and collecting them sometimes can lead to pillaging of these areas. Something by Peter Chan for that time was quite an elaborate and comprehensive book, but it wasn't really too relevant for the Indian situation. So when I was in India, I used Jyoti and Nikunj Parikh's book as far as the species and techniques were concerned. I found it a little bit more helpful in the early days. But for the beginner today, I think perhaps the most relevant of the books is Peter Warren's a DK publication that is a very modern book, and even though he doesn't call it an encyclopedia, it's compared to all the other books that have been called bonsai encyclopedias, I think this is a far more comprehensive book than most of the other ones out there in the market. It's quite new, and because of that it is very up to date, and he is trained in Japan, and so not only does he know his stuff, but the book is very comprehensively done. His introductions start off with the basic equipment, which I think is quite good to help guide you into what you would need for learning bonsais. And he has a good section on choosing suitable trees for bonsais, and it's a good guide to help you with making sure that when you buy bonsais from nursery and stock material, that you choose a tree that is likely to have to grow up well, or has potential, to use a word that's often maligned in the world of bonsai, but nevertheless I think his book for beginners is exceptional as well. I must say, Peter Warren hasn't spoken to me about this book or sponsored me in any way, but it's just that I quite enjoy this book, and I find it very helpful. And he even seems to be talking about some oriental species. Here we have the Manila tamarind, the lipstick ficus, which happens to be one of my favorite ones. And of course, he covers a lot of the English and European species like the hawthorn, the English oak. There is quite a lot for beginners to see and take in. One of the earlier guidebooks that I got when I came to the UK is Harry Tomlinson's pocket encyclopedia of bonsai, and his species guides is really quite helpful, and I would recommend it to anybody who wants to buy it. But remember, the species guides are basically just that, to tell you about the various types of species that you can grow as bonsai in the UK, and I'm sure that's very relevant in most of Europe too. So when it comes to the guides, you have Peter Chan's The Bonsai Bible, which is again very comprehensive, and then you have Harry Tomlinson's, which is the first one, and Simon Schulz's guide, which is again quite helpful. Peter Chan's Bonsai Bible also is a very modern book and more up to date, and it has exactly the same kind of guide structure to it. The guide is more relevant to the UK and perhaps even the European market. So, one of the better guides in the market is Peter Chan's Choosing and Growing Bonsais. It's quite a comprehensive book. The guide in it is really very helpful, and I think if you are starting off and you are keen on figuring out the various types of species that you can grow, you'll find this particular book very helpful. In general, if I was to use to learn about techniques and different styles and forest grouping and root and rock and things like that, then I would stick to Peter Warren's book, which I find quite comprehensive. Well, I hope you did enjoy watching this little video, and if you did like it, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And be seeing you soon. I will be talking more about advanced books, books for not the beginner, but I guess even the beginner can use them, because they're more about specialist subjects and about different parts of bonsai. So looking forward to see you on the second part too. Thank you for watching.